Hi, so sorry I'm late. I think you both should changing you both to panelists.
Not that late. I mean, the meeting's at 6:30.
Oh, phew! At first in my notes it was at 6. I'm like, oh no. Phew.
Oh, I
Okay.
saw that it said 6, but no,
For
I
6 it
agendized
is.
it for 6:30. Make me do the agenda. I'll put it
Yeah.
whatever time I want.
Yeah. Love to see it. Love to see it. Okay, sweet. And then Allie, I'm promoting you to panelist.
Okay.
Let's see. And then I can make you both host. Oh wait, did I already make you a host? Let me see. Allie keeps coming back to me with you're declining to be promoted to panelist.
Oh my gosh, I'll tell her.
Do you know what causes that? Is it just people need to sign out and sign back in? Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, is she getting in this time?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay. I think you have to put me in as a panelist too.
Oh yeah, are you? Oh, I just had you as allowed to talk. Wait one second.
Yeah,
Let me do this. Change all to panelist.
because yeah, I don't. I'm like, why am I all camera?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, Allie, it looks like you're here.
Oh my gosh, Soraya, you're here.
Oh yeah, I'm
Oh,
here. Sorry, it's my I'm
I'm so
blacked
sorry.
out.
I suddenly went, oh my God, Lisa, are you hosting this?
Let me
Okay.
see.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I've
Oh
got to,
yeah.
did I learn how to do this so that you don't need to be here if I have a Zoom again or?
Yes, actually, I mean, if it's okay, do you mind if Lisa takes over the host role this time around?
Ask her. She's here, but she's unmuted. Lisa, can you unmute, honey?
I'm
There.
unmuting now. Sorry, I was muted unmuted before.
Can
Yeah, I
you
can do
host
my
for us
best.
tonight, Lisa?
Yeah, I can do my best.
That would be super helpful. And then, Allie, if you want one time, we could schedule a session. Honestly, we could set this up for most committee heads where we just do a like Zoom 101 session where we walk you through like
I
sharing
would
your
love
screen
that.
and promoting to panelists and things like that. That we
I
can
would
absolutely arrange.
completely love
Yeah, let's do
Rhea, it's been on the back of my mind to send you an email. For some reason, I have lots of free time and no free time right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going on with the web. That every time I put in something, it doubles up the meetings, and even though I go back later and delete the a second meeting, it still keeps showing back up as two meetings.
Oh, yeah. Erica said that was also happening, this weird duplicate meeting
And I
thing.
saw that it was happening to PTI, so there's
Yeah.
that.
Let me
And
take a look. Erica seemed to think it was something with how the recurring meetings are on the
Oh,
calendar.
that's good. She was telling me last night, and I'm like, okay. And she's telling me how to fix it. I'm like, Erica, no, it just needs to overall be fixed. And when I was doing
Yeah.
it, so I said, when I've done it for one-off meetings, like for the Charter Commission, it's
Yeah.
still doubled up too. So
Oh,
it's
okay. So
not
there's
just
a
for
bigger
recurring
problem.
meetings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So maybe that's one of those things that I know Steve Bradbury was fooling around a lot with the website and making a lot of
Yeah.
these things. But we pay Web Corner every month to
Yeah,
do
yeah. To
stuff.
do a session.
And
Yeah,
maybe
which I have
that's
a
a real backdoor thing that they can need to fix or something.
yeah, yeah. No, that's a good idea. But and honestly, I have a couple of questions I'll need to ask them. So I'll just add that
Yeah.
to my
So
list of
all
things to
right,
check with them.
I'll send you an email about
Yeah,
that.
that would be great just so I have like a record because I'm making this like running list of things to talk to them
Yeah,
about. So
but
an email
to
would be
me that
great.
might be something that would be good for them to dig out and figure out and find out where the code is that's happening to people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Okay, sweet. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll take a look because I have noticed that that happened for the tsunami town hall too. It happened for a couple things.
yeah, so it's and yeah, even though Erica was like trying to tell me how to do it, I'm like, Erica, I don't want to know how to fix it. I want it just fixed so that no one else has to do with this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know?
Oh, we can definitely get that done. Okay,
All
sweet.
right.
So I
I'll
think
try
I
and get that
made,
email out tomorrow.
yeah, that'd be great. I think I made either, Allie, I either made you pro like full host or Lisa host. So you should have all the capabilities you need. I'll be around. So if anything does come
curiosity
up,
because I don't know what that means. What would that mean?
oh, well, it basically just means that you have all the capabilities to make someone like a panelist or allowed to talk. You should both have the ability to do that. But
Okay. Yeah.
Lisa, do you see the controls as expected?
Let
You might
me
not be
look.
able.
I was trying to open up the agenda so I could, okay,
Yeah.
let me,
I don't
oh, there are
see
for
any
participants.
except
Okay.
participants, raise hand,
Okay, so Judy is
share
there. I'm
screen.
going to promote her to panelist right now.
Yeah, I think Lisa has them, but I
And I
don't.
already enabled captions for Judy. All right. So, all right. So three
So
of us are
Judy,
here
are
now.
you seeing the captions?
I don't see that you need to enable the captions.
I did click enable captions. It
Okay,
got, I did get a pop-up to do it. Are you seeing it now?
uh, so far, no.
All
Let
right,
me,
here, let me click on this. Okay, there it is.
okay, let me,
Can you
I
hear?
see them now.
Can you see my captions, Judy, as I speak?
I'm trying
There
to get them to come through here. I'm also trying to show myself.
You look very much like a dog.
I know, I'm trying.
A cute dog,
It's
though.
a
We love
very cute
Lily.
photo.
Okay,
She's a
hold
good
on.
girl.
I see a transcript, but I do not see captions. Hold on.
Well, the captions are coming through on my screen visually.
It must be something I need to do here. Or
Do you know what she should do, Soraya?
What should I am also seeing them? I'm wondering why.
I'm not seeing them.
Might be able to. Let me see. If you go to settings.
Okay.
Oh,
Did you press
oh,
show
okay,
captions?
okay, I've got them now. I
Okay.
have
great.
the
Yeah,
captions. I'm
Great.
just trying to show me instead of the dog.
Okay.
oh yeah. You should have a little button at the bottom that says "Start Video."
I have the captions, so it's fine.
And what is this thing, Lisa, that just showed up on the
I'm
screen?
trying to, let me go back. I was trying to show the the agenda, but let me go back and fix that.
We don't really have much to look at, so it doesn't
Okay.
matter that much, you know. I've got it in front of me.
There, I did it.
Hi, Judy.
Hi. Uh, Allie, I sent you a text and an email.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty, I'm gonna hop off, but if you need anything, just call or
Right,
text me.
Soraya.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good meeting. Bye.
Good
Thank you
night.
very much. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you
Oh
for
my
your.
gosh, of course. Anything. Have a good meeting.
So now we just need people to show up. Oh, we have more attendees. Jessica, Manny, Matt's note taker, and Naomi is here. I'll promote Naomi. Oops.
Hey, Naomi.
Hey, I'm gonna go turn my TV down. I'll be right back.
Okay. And can I ask you a question? So, Judy, not equally resourced means that one gets way more than the other.
Right.
And
They
I'm
need to get the same, equally, they need the same resources.
and I'm assuming that housing gets more. When it's
It
is
does
that
not, it does, the summary you sent me doesn't say that,
okay?
but it doesn't sound like, it sounds like the biggest problem is that they don't provide the resources
The
equally to
services.
both, that it's housing that gets it. But there are a few, just read what I summarized.
I
What
did. I read that. I read what it summarized. Okay.
So, but what I'm saying is that statutes need to be aligned, that we don't have a statute, we don't have laws that align housing and treatment so that they're legally linked. That's what's the problem.
Okay.
And so placement and services need to be linked.
Yeah.
And also there's
And it was saying that about the lead program that I sent you.
I read the whole thing and I summarized it here.
Yeah. I know I read it. I did, but it also says care court in here, so I didn't know
Well,
if that
I
was
compared it to care court.
uh-huh.
I did a comparison of care court and lead, and basically the biggest problem has to do with the need for a statute that aligns housing and treatment so that they're legally linked,
Okay.
in my
I don't
opinion.
know if I sent everybody, but it was at the very last minute that I got it from Jonah.
Okay, so
There was a program that I
just looked at it quickly. I looked at it very fast.
It's okay, Judy. We're good. Because we shouldn't talk about it now because I don't know if anybody's read it, but I sent everybody an email that I got from Jonah because I was asking him about another service provider in Venice and the People's Concern, and he sent me a thing about the LEAD program, which they instituted in Venice.
Okay, let's save that for the meeting.
I will. I'm just telling everybody to, if you want to check your emails, I sent you a summary.
Okay.
Half an hour ago, because that's when he sent it to me. We're not all here yet. I was just telling people to check their emails if they want to read it.
Okay.
So we're just waiting. Let me see if Julie's coming.
Yeah. So we have 6 people here. We could start the meeting.
Naomi, is there another meeting that I'm supposed to be at? I never got a notice.
Oh my God.
Are you
Allie?
on? Yeah.
Shit, I need to log. I'm so sorry.
That's
I'm at
okay.
the Palm-
We're waiting for you though.
We're at the Palm Springs Surf Club. I'll log in on from my phone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Not that I know of, Judy. What for? You mean for the Venice Community Planning meeting?
Hey,
Yeah.
Lydia, your hand is up. Did you have a quick question before we start the meeting?
No, Judy.
She's just being friendly. Hi, Lydia.
No, I'm actually concerned because you have a whole stack of how to get into the meeting and none of it works except for the first one. You have to copy the tail end of the numbers and put it to join Zoom. We've been
Okay.
doing Zooms for 6 years and we really need to get it together. None of it is hyperlinked. There is no one tap the numbers. It requires a passcode that's not listed. So the first, I'm gonna, if I may, put it in send it to someone. I can go ahead and send you the passcode that worked for me. That was one tap. I've been trying to get in for 8 minutes.
But
I don't know what to tell you because it worked for me. When I posted the agenda on Friday, I double checked the passcode in the link then and it worked, and I checked it again last night and it worked. So
But
I
Lydia,
don't.
are you on by phone?
Well, I'm on by phone, but I tried to do it through my computer. Now, here's the thing. I don't doubt that it worked, Lisa. It's the first code. It's the first code that worked. It wasn't hyperlinked. And in addition to that, you have to copy the last numbers on that first hyperlink. All the other stuff is just gibberish because you have to have a passcode. I tried to call in just to see.
Okay, well, I'll look into this after the
Yeah.
fact.
All right.
I'm sorry that you had difficulty. I know that all I had to do was just click the link and it worked for
Right,
me.
but that's the
So-
first link. But all this other stuff after it is just, there's
Yeah,
no,
but I think legally we have to put all that stuff there for people to have other options.
well, that's why there's only 7 or 8 people on this call. But I'm going to go ahead and text you the
Yeah,
one,
it's
the
just
one number that I
usually
used.
it's just usually in a different format where each of those ways to get in is on a different line. So I understand what you're saying, Lydia, but because I clicked on the first link, I didn't have a problem getting in, but
Yeah.
it did look different to me when I went on.
Okay, well,
Sarah,
figure it out.
Sarah's not on yet, right?
No, I'm on. I also had issues. I too cannot click it. I'm calling from my phone because I am basketball practice adjacent. But I've never had issues calling from my phone because that's how I take most Zooms. So yeah, the format is different, but I am present and I am here.
Are you a Zoom user?
I am the Zoom user, and some days it says my name, and some days I'm, you know.
So we have quorum because Pat's here too. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to call the meeting to order and have a roll call, committee roll call. Pat Raphael.
He just joined, so I don't know.
Oh, he's just muted that. Pat, can you unmute? I'll just start elsewhere and then get back. Lisa Redmond.
Here.
Sarah Mahir.
Present.
Judy Goldman.
Here.
Naomi Nightingale.
I'm here.
John Reimers is absent, and Julie Bean is coming. So do we have to get Pat to unmute before we can begin, Lisa, for quorum? 1, 2, 3, 4.
No,
We have 5. Okay, so Pat, unmute when you can, but we can't hear you, but you can hear us, I assume. So we are going to begin with declaration of ex parte communications and conflicts of interest. Does anyone on the committee have a declaration of ex parte communication or conflict of interest? I had a conversation with Pat about a motion that he wanted to propose, and I spoke to Lisa about it too. So I don't know if I guess that's ex parte. And now he's unmuted. So Pat wanted to have a conversation, a board conversation about the Dell project, and I said after a lot of thought, I didn't think it was the right moment, given that it's in the middle of a lawsuit, for us to be. We can't really advise the district or the city. And then I also had a conversation with with Judy just about a meeting that I went to downtown, but that's not really ex parte. Okay. Anybody else have any? Oh, and Julie's raised her hand. Lisa, do you see her? Julie Bean.
I'm sorry, I was looking at my email.
Did I leave my debit card?
So we have a full.
There you are. Hi, Julie. Thank you so much for joining us in the middle of.
Best thing, Mike, I hope everybody can hear me now.
Oh, good. Now we can hear you, Pat.
I just
and see you.
figured it out.
Awesome. Awesome. So does anyone else have ex parte communication?
I do. I don't necessarily know if it's ex parte, a little bit fuzzy on it, but I did get a phone call from Lori Kraft from St. Joseph's regarding our meeting a few weeks back concerning our community members that we are advocating for. But again, nothing outside of that other than, our committee really wants follow through from St. Joseph's. We want answers and follow-ups to the questions. We don't just want to come and be spoken at. We want follow-up with action. And we all want to know how to best assist and help our community. And then that was pretty much it. So I did have that conversation with Lori. And I do hope that we can get some movement so that we are able as a committee to be of service to our stakeholders.
Awesome. Well, that's hopefully what we will talk about tonight too. Anyone else? Okay. Next, approval of prior minutes. Unfortunately, even though Lisa, bless her heart, did make the minutes, she thought she posted them, but they didn't get posted. So I know what they are, but I can't approve them, right, Lisa?
Yeah, we can't because they aren't publicly posted.
Okay, I'm so sorry, everybody. We will post them. It was the meeting. It was the minutes about the St. Joseph's meeting, and they're very general. Now we would like to open up to general public comment of items not on the agenda, so not on the St. Joseph's meeting, but anything else at all that you would like to?
I know it says the agenda says within the budget committee, but we quickly
I
used
did
the
see
budget.
that.
We did use the template of the budget committee quickly on Friday afternoon to make the agenda. So sorry, we missed that typo.
I saw
So
that.
anything that has to do with homelessness within the purview, but not on tonight's agenda. Just raise your hand. Okay. Doesn't seem like anybody from our attendees want to say anything.
No public comment? Wow.
Yep, no public comment.
That's
9 attendees and no one
rare.
wants to
Mercy.
have anything to say.
Okay.
All right, great. But thanks for being here tonight.
Okay. We are moving on to item 5, which is the chair report. And I would like to report that I went to a meeting at the county. It was the County Board of Supervisors meeting, and they asked several people in Venice to come and comment on a motion that Lindsay Horvath put forward in terms of over the county overseeing the Department of Mental Health in terms of everything that had to do with homelessness, and that the new Department of Homeless Services run by Sarah Maheen and her department would oversee and work together with the Department of Mental Health. And I was very interested in that. I said I wasn't totally sure where I was going to come down on the motion. I wanted to go hear everything, but I wrote down what I thought, and I think I thought it was a really great idea to have oversight and to have accountability and to have a data bank, which they have, which is amazing. But then I went to the meeting, and Sarah Maheen, in the item before this motion, presented her report on the new Department of Health Services, which was launched in January. And it's now, it was then the end of, we are now at the end of March. It was sort of like the first week of March, I guess, this meeting, or the 10th or something. And I was very struck, like to the point of, honestly, I got really very upset emotionally of listening to the report, because I was kind of excited about this new department. I thought it would be great to have like a homelessness oversight department that was finally pulling the city and the county and everybody together. But all that was discussed in this hour-long presentation, and the same thing from Lindsay Horvath's comments, was all of the nuts and bolts and the staff and the funding and the staff and the funding. And I noticed that not one person ever mentioned a human being on the streets. Not one person mentioned a vision for the human beings on the streets. And I was just, I actually burst into tears very unexpectedly. It looked hopeless to me. I thought, I don't see a new vision. I don't feel a humanitarian, new, fresh thing that's going to be a solution. It was very about money. It was very about staffing. And, I've heard from a lot of people on the street that they feel that all the money is going to the infrastructure of homelessness, but nothing's getting to the streets. Nothing's getting to building housing. Nothing's getting to feeding people. Nothing's getting, especially to services for mental, which what the subject was of the whole meeting after this, mental health services. And the guard came up to me and touched me on the shoulder, and she said, you're allowed to make public comment on this if you want, because she saw that I was kind of upset. And I said, I can? I said, okay. So I just went up to the kiosk and put my name in, and then they called my name right away. So I didn't have time to think, which was a good thing. And I just went up and said to her and to Lindsay Horvath how, I've spent time with Lindsay Horvath as other people on this committee have. And I said, I had such expectations, and I'm so profoundly disappointed by not hearing a vision or the mention of anyone suffering and living on the street. And Sarah Maheen texted me about 5 minutes later and said that she wants to have a meeting, which is a good thing. And I hope that we get to have her come and talk to us here. So all of that to say, the then motion and long conversation, probably another hour with the head of the Department of Mental Health, Dr. Wong. It was it was really discouraging that there is very little available. I thought in the couple of years they've had to work on it that they would have created facilities where there is housing and services for severely mentally ill, which is what Prop 1, which is $6.5 billion, was voted in for. And we've had 2 years to implement it. And all she kept saying is there aren't any facilities. There aren't any beds. So I was discouraged, and that's my committee report. And, something that I want to talk about when we have our next meeting. And I'm not exactly sure what the meeting with her is going to, reap, but she's very aware of the fact that it's an issue in Venice. And, the hue and cry was just that there's not enough funding, but I don't understand since there's $6.5 billion. So, but I know that's statewide, it's not countywide, but, we have not reduced, the county has gone from 79 to 75,000 people on the street. It's still amazing with the amount of money that we've spent, I find. So anyway, that's my chair report of and Amy Perkins texted me, the one that came to our meeting with St. Joseph Center, and she said she felt exactly the same way. And Sarah Maheen said in her letter that she felt the same way. She said, I'm really sorry. I had to make a metrics report and, but I didn't see a vision. That's all I'm saying. And I really hope I'm wrong. And when I meet her, I'm going to, that there is a vision to this new department. I hope there's something new, but we'll see.
Who wrote the report?
Or she did, Sarah Maheen. It was her report.
And she apologized for it?
Do you want me to read her text?
I mean, is it different from what you said? But
no,
yeah.
She said what she said is, I'm really, really sorry. I understand. She said, I really appreciate your passion and I understand it. And I would really like to meet with you. She didn't apologize per se, but she said she heard me and she was very sorry. And,
well, this prop was in 2024, right?
Correct.
And so if there wasn't any facilities in 2024, and they've had all of this time to focus and develop and research and to get it together, but they still don't have anything. So I'd like to be at that meeting.
I would love it. Anyone that wants to come with me, I'd love it. I would love it. I feel the same way. I remember when, I don't know how many of you went, but they had in January, because they also, remember, postponed the care court for 2 years in order to do more, they said it's too soon, right? And we don't want to accept the money yet.
Exactly.
And so, Dr. Wong and Barbara Ferrer, as head of Department of Health Services, had to make their report of what they've been doing for 2 years to Lindsay Horvath, who was then the head of the supervisors. And they said the same thing.
But did you see that report?
I was there at the meeting.
So they hadn't done anything at that point. So
I texted Jonah at that meeting. I said, did I just hear what I heard? That they don't have any beds and that what they have done in the 2 years that they've trained, I don't remember the number.
Okay, so I remember that. I remember that then.
That was that meeting.
Okay, so now still nothing. And is there money?
Well, I don't know how much LA gets, but there's 6.5 billion. I imagine there's money, but I don't know what they've done with it.
I mean, is it, well, that's what I mean. Is there money left?
Oh, there's got to be.
Well,
But
we don't know that though.
2 years. So there's time is a big thing.
But we don't know the budget. We don't know what's left.
We
But
don't know
okay,
what's left.
no,
We don't know
I'm
what has-
okay. So I would just like to be at that meeting. I think those are important questions. I mean, what money is left? What did they spend money on? And why don't they have a viable plan at this point after all of this time? What did they do? And if there wasn't any good report at that interim report that you heard about, there was no beds then, and here we are, what, a year later, and still nothing. Okay, so we'll see what they say. I'll wait for the meeting. I see Lisa's hand up, and I think Sarah's hand is up too.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's a place in Norwalk. They're making it's the first campus I've heard of that's big. That they just.
I think we've jumped the gun and we're discussing Prop 1 right now. And
I'm sorry, that was just the chair report, but.
Okay, I know, but we kind of jumped into it, so maybe we can talk about it.
Okay, we can go back to that when we get back to the Prop 1 discussion at the end. Or we can now
I
move
thought we
on.
were discussing it. That's why I commented.
That's okay.
I appreciate it.
I do have a clarifying question. Were you really talking, when you were talking about Sarah's report, were you talking, Sarah Maheen's report, were you talking about her update for setting up the new apartment, or were you commenting on her talking about the Prop 1?
No. I was talking about her report on her department since
Okay.
January 1st.
Yeah, what I wanted to comment on is I'm pretty sure they are still in the last bits and parts of setting up the department. And I don't think her department officially, I could be wrong, but I don't believe their apartment does not officially take over until the beginning of July. Because right now they're still using LASA.
Mm-hmm.
And then the funding stops from LASA at the beginning of July with the new fiscal year. So that's why and again, I'm not trying to defend her. She's not talking about people on the street. They're still talking about staffing and getting all ready to hit the ground running in July when they start up, because it is a brand new department. That's my understanding, but I could be wrong. So
makes sense.
That makes sense. Sarah's hand is up too.
Well, I was
Sarah?
just gonna say, yeah, hi guys. I was just gonna say, I also would like to be at this meeting, and I think maybe Allie, if moving forward, if there are meetings like this coming up, that it could be a quick email sent to our committee members so that we're aware, and if we want to or can attend, that we can be there, because it really seems to be the forefront issue here in Venice. And secondly, I agree that we should wait for the nuts and bolts to get smoothed out. But with that same breath, how St. Joseph's came and we had that meeting with them. I feel like we keep having these meetings, and if we're going to ask Sarah Maheen to come down or ask anyone to come, I'm I feel like they need to come with actual information. Like, don't come to me with what you're building. I don't want to see your science project. I want to see the volcano explode at the science fair. Like, don't tell me how you're going to build the volcano with the baking soda and make it explode. Show me that volcano erupt. And I say that to say, where are the numbers for us to get people into these facilities? Where is the connectivity to be able to reach out to St. Joseph's or Juan or Casey Pratt, be it CD11 or whoever our direct arm of help is for someone that's unhoused, experiencing a mental health crisis, etc. I want to know, what is the number? What is the intake? Who do we call that's not 211 that we can get someone help immediately? Because they just throw information at us. And still, this is like 3 meetings in we've had with them, from the meeting we had at the First Lutheran 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. And not one of us knows how to get somebody into a mental health facility or how to get someone into a shelter right now. And fairly resourceful, but how do we do that right now? Where is a bed? Where is a voucher? We don't know anything, and they won't tell us. But everyone's getting paid.
That's what came up at the meeting for me, is that they're getting paid.
Yeah, you're getting paid, and I don't know how to get somebody one bed for even one night.
She did say that they are housing some people, that that they're bringing people inside.
Judy's hand is up.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But should we move on to the next?
Well, you allowed other people to talk, so I'd let Judy, if she has one more comment on your chair report.
may I comment? Okay, so I read their motion very, very carefully, and I also submitted a letter critiquing it, which I'd be happy to share with anybody. It's a long letter, so I'm not going to put it in the comments. But basically, all they're doing is trying to facilitate communication. And they did not address any of the core problems that are contributing to the crisis that we face. In my humble opinion, what happened there is really a call to action to this committee. And I think we need to hone in on what steps we want them to take. And I think we need to come up with a motion and try to get it passed, stating what it is that's missing here and what it is we are advocating for. We can complain to each other, but it doesn't get us anywhere until we really make loud noises in a more formal way. And I think we need to think about how to do that.
I agree 100%. So in that, with that spirit,
I'm just going to say one other thing, Allie, that if you,
oh, sorry.
no, I'm just going to say that if you're inviting other people to meetings with other people, you have to be careful, because
I did not invite anyone yet. I just
okay,
said,
I'm just saying a lot of us said that
I have not
you'd like
invited
us to
anybody yet.
come, but I'm just saying that then it becomes a problem, a Brown Act problem, if you've got multiple people going from the committee.
We'll talk about that. Well, that's why I haven't invited anybody yet.
Okay.
I don't even know
But I just wanted to state that for transparency, because we do have people on the meeting too that would know that.
And just so that you know, the reason that, Judy was asked to make a comment by Amy Perkins because she's a mental health provider, but that had nothing to do with the committee. Just so that you
understand. That's okay. No, but you had mentioned that you'd like to, if other people wanted to come to those meetings with you.
Excuse me, let me speak for myself. Allie did not invite me to do anything.
No, I just said that. That's what I said, that Amy Perkins asked you to make a comment.
No, Amy Perkins did not ask me. I independently read the motion and independently did my own analysis, and independently, without speaking to anybody, submitted a letter to the record, which all of you are welcome to see. It's in the public record.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that she contacted you. I guess it was me in Venice. She contacted me and Carrie Bajela-Jack, who did not end up coming to the meeting. But that's who they asked to make a comment. So, and then I guess Judy got the motion from Carrie or something. Okay.
Carrie, yes, Carrie sent me the motion, but Jonah sent it to her and asked her to please comment. And Carrie sent it to me. I did not discuss this with anybody on this committee.
No. Okay. So let's move on to new business, which is the takeaway from our meeting last month with St. Joseph's, which was a very interesting meeting in many ways. So it says here, discussion and possible action, and we're going to start with public conversation about that, with public comments on the meeting. We would incredibly appreciate your reactions, your opinions, motions you might like us to make, feelings you have about St. Joseph's as a service provider, anything. Greatly appreciated.
How long did you want to allow the public to talk?
Well, there's not too many people here, right?
Okay, but yes, but one person can talk for 15 minutes too.
No,
but
then I was going to say 2 minutes instead of one, because
okay, 2 minutes
it doesn't
is
look
great.
like, it's not a huge number of people. So, and we'd really love to get people's feedback. So,
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, first up is Lydia. Her hand went
Yeah,
up first.
thank you. Was there a public comment on your director's report? Is there?
a chair report?
No.
I don't know. Should there be, Lisa? I didn't think that.
No,
No.
Okay.
no.
And then as far as the meeting, I'm just going to say that it is really disappointing that our person is still unhoused. Our people, Sarah could speak more to that, but it's just a shuck and jive show. And the only way that you want to apply pressure to anyone, it would have to be the whole kit and caboodle, because all the other CD districts have built affordable housing, and it's not specific to mental health issue patients or clients or people in need with mental health challenges. However, at this point, who isn't under this whole world turning upside down? On the other side of it, I don't believe anything they say. So I think that having meetings with these people, yeah, okay, we can continue to have meetings, but where's the pressure, as Judy speaks about? We have to put pressure on CD11, the county. We have to put pressure on the local services. And lastly, I think it's really interesting that we're talking about building affordable housing in Venice when people want to point to where it can and cannot be built. It's still a mellow coastal zone. It's still dual jurisdiction. We still have to abide by that. Unfortunately, the city took the power away from Coastal Commission. So let's get on our jobs and stop voting on things about the Dell if you're not going to talk about it here on this committee, which I agree to. When I say it, no one listens. So, y'all have voted on things about the Dell on community impact statements last year with Brian Averill. So be democratic. Don't be a democracy. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there another hand, Lisa?
Nick?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I thought it was a good idea to have St. Joseph's there, but being this is Holy Week, I don't want to. I'm embarrassed to be a Catholic based on that presentation that was given last month. He offered no solutions. He didn't answer a single question about the financial condition of St. Joseph's. He was asked several times how much money he made. He was asked all kinds of questions regarding how people can get services. There wasn't a single answer to anything. And the notion that these service providers make all this money and that they have absolutely no record of any sense of accomplishment, that these self-reporting guidelines where they determine whether they are improving things or not are laughable. I mean, just look at the numbers. I mean, 2.6 billion spent since 2020. The city's spending $418 million a year, and nothing's changed. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And I tried to reach out to the CEO of St. Joseph Center 3 times. I sent him 4 emails, didn't respond to any of them, had some secretary call me back. I wanted to talk to him about the meeting. He refused to engage. It's embarrassing. It's beyond embarrassing. And the county is no better. And you know what? Elections have consequences. You have an election this year, and we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, I thought it was a good idea that what the committee did, but in terms of results, there was zero.
Okay, thank you. Is there another hand?
Yeah, Erica.
Erica.
Hi there. This is just I'm just giving information. I'm not gonna say an opinion about this either anyway, but I did sign up to be contacted about something about my business with St. Joseph's, and they did reach out to me, and they did give me a point person to speak to, and that person followed up as well. So I just thought I would share that information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Manny's hand is up.
Manny?
Yes.
Hi.
Manny.
Hi.
Oh, that was me. Sorry, Manny. All right, go ahead, Manny. I'm sorry about that.
Okay,
Is
can you hear me?
anybody other than me timing this?
No, I'm timing, but I accidentally muted Manny. Sorry. Sorry about
Okay,
that,
so
Manny.
you can start now. There
Yes,
Okay.
he can start now.
So I think a lot of these meetings need to be recorded, like whenever you do in-person stuff, because a lot of us have work or we are not able to attend, so we can't really catch up with what happened at the meetings. So I think that'd be great, even if it's just like a cell phone recording that records the whole, just the vocals or something. But that'd be nice because there's people feeling some type of way about it, and I just don't know what went on there. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I just ask a question? Judy, did your transcript of your captions of the meeting, is that something that we could use or is it gone? Because several people have asked, and we did not record the meeting, which I feel bad about, but I was wondering, do you have your captions? I know it was long, but.
So I don't know if they're so all you have to do yourself is look at the bottom of your screen and look for where it says transcript. It's next to more.
She's asking
No,
about
Judy,
last
yeah.
month's meeting.
She's
Last
saying if
month's
you have
meeting.
access to the transcript from the homelessness committee when the computer was set up for you, do you still have access, or would you have access possibly to the transcripts from our last meeting?
No, I don't have that.
Okay. I was just hoping. Okay, cool. Is there another hand, Lisa?
Nope. Everyone spoke.
Okay. So now
Pat's
let's
hand is up.
Whose hand?
Pat.
Pat. That's good. I was gonna say let's go to the board, and that is Pat. So Pat.
All right. So I think we really have to think about the format when we do these type of things. And then sometimes the format plays into the hand of not offering useful information in a way that almost makes the meeting not as useful as it could be. So one of the problems that I thought there was a lot of grandstanding, a lot of patting themselves on the back of how great a job they're doing, but very little data. Even the very basic things like percentage of salary, right? There was a big discrepancy on that. People on the floor were saying one thing, they're saying another. How many housed, right? To break the down, which ones were permanent, which one, right? So very basic things. It was very hard to find out how many case managers they have and who's so. So I'm saying, if we're trying to have a PR opportunity for St. Joseph, then what we did last week serves them well. But if we're trying to get useful information to see how they operate, so that from seeing how they operate, we can offer useful input to help something turn out better, we would have to definitely look at format. And then lastly, I will talk about what they've actually told us about how infrastructure is not meeting the level of the need, right? So they're saying they don't have mental health beds, they don't have low-income housing, they don't have short-term shelters, they don't have intermediate shelters, they don't have it to offer. So we're really asking them to stand in the gap for resources that we really haven't provided them. And I wonder how is that fair to them as well. So so we're in a position now where something like the Venice Dell is infrastructure that could be built. And this is going to take years to happen, but we're not willing to talk about it right now to wonder what's going on. Right. So uh, this is becoming very disappointing from all sides, and I want to say also from our side, because what are we doing to help things better?
Got it. Thank you, Pat. Naomi?
Yeah, I'm wondering what you said that they take over responsibilities July 1. What's going to be different?
Is that a question that you'd like me to answer?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if
well,
the bureaucracy is going to change because whatever the situation is now, and based on what they said at the meeting, that they're losing a lot of funding, particularly for case management and intake and all of that. And based on the report that you said that they made, what's her name? Shaheen?
Sarah Maheen.
Maheen. What's going to be different July 1 when LASA's not in effect anymore? And I guess the separation between county and city is now formal. I mean, I don't expect us to maybe have any question answer to that, but I'm just wondering, do they get a whole new set of directions and operational structure? Or is it just the same thing with the different start date? I'm just wondering what's going to be different, and in terms of their authority or their ability to provide the services. Is the budget the same in terms of them not having any money yet?
Where spending is happening, Naomi. It's a
Pardon
new
me?
fiscal year. Sounds like just a new fiscal year where that's when the spending starts.
Yeah, I mean, I know July 1 is a new fiscal year, but is it the same structure? Is it the same situation? Is it just another date? And if they already said that they don't have money, they're losing, the budget is not going to be there for them to provide a lot of services that we talked about at the meeting, then what is going to be different? What is going to be their function?
May I answer that a bit?
Sure.
Are you done, Naomi? Or
yeah, that's just my question. Yeah,
it's fine with me. Is that Lisa? Is
yeah,
that okay?
that's my
me.
question.
That's a
yeah,
conversation. So yeah, sure. Judy.
So, in reading the motion, the takeaway that I would have is that was really a power grab on the part of the county to take over power and I think some funding from DMH. And bottom line, what they're establishing, in my opinion, is a system that protects itself rather than the people that it's meant to serve. That's really what's happening here. And because they're coming up with a structure that's providing power to the county to oversee DMH, but not doing anything to change the way that services are offered to people on the street. I think people are still going to be operating in their own separate silos and not really accountable for any results. So it was a structure that prioritized a bureaucratic process, compliance, and funding streams over getting people what they needed on the streets. That's what I saw. I read it. I can send it to you. But
no, I get it. No, I agree with you totally. And maybe it was more rhetorical question for someone that is a part of that decision-making process. But I understand everything that you're saying. There was a lot of embarrassment and discomfort because of the way that LASA was operating, and the city and the county made a decision to try to divorce themselves from that structure, but they didn't put anything in place to really make things any better.
It's
It
no
just,
different than when they closed all of the mental hospitals that were so draconian and never created the community mental health programs that should have been there years ago. After Reagan closed everything,
yeah,
had a mandate and nothing happened based on that mandate.
yeah, I get it. And so here we are today because of that.
That's exactly right. And until there's accountability and it's tied to real outcomes, nothing is going to change, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of difficult to go backwards and to pick up from where we should have been, but that's what needs to happen. But you've got so many people on the street now that it's not that easy thing to do, but they need to start somewhere. And I'm disappointed.
I think, Naomi, what we need to focus on here is what do we want to communicate to the county? What is our message to them?
No, yeah, Judy, I really get that. We can talk all day long, but I want to know how can we effectuate and make them accountable for what it is that we all clearly, I think, understand what it is that they need to do, because the same song is being sung for the last 2 years about needing the beds, about the uh, mental health, about all of that, and they still haven't done anything. So, yeah, I think we know what to say to them, but how do we get accountability? How do we enforce it? They weren't able to do it from the courts. They haven't done it. It's just,
I mean, I'm hoping if we can cobble something in eventually into a motion. Jonah was saying, make noise. That's what he was saying. Just make noise. And if we can all agree on something that we believe that we could make noise with that would create change, that's my dream, that, you know, coming out of Venice.
But maybe the
This is Sarah. Can I jump in? I've had my
Sure.
hand up for quite some time.
I didn't see. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
can't see your hand, Sarah, so I guess you just have to raise your voice.
Okay, so I'm doing
Which
that.
I know
All
is
right.
very hard for you.
So I just want to jump in real quick. I just want to clarify one thing. We do have a number as to how many intake, or not intake, but case managers St. Joseph's has. And it's one. St. Joseph's has one case manager, which is unacceptable. And if we're going to talk about the points as to what we're demanding, I've requested this time and time again in and out of every meeting, and maybe I should just present it as a motion to our committee. But I have asked repetitively for numbers, for real data. And what we need to know is our service provider, St. Joseph's, how many vouchers do they have? How many vouchers? How many beds? We know that there's the Alliance lawsuit, et cetera. They're supposed to have X, Y, and Z. They refuse to give us that data. Like, we need to know what the service provider in our community is working with. And as far as them being accountable to LASA in June, what I've basically been told is that it's a pipeline to accountability. So in essence, what that will mean is before there was no way for the county and all the city and wherever the funding was coming from, there was no direct way for everyone to report an account as to where the money was going to. So they're saying that by rolling this out by June, that everyone will be accountable to one place. And if you're not able to prove that the funding went where it went, that your funding will be yanked. Now, do I believe them? Absolutely not. But that is in essence what they claim they're going to do. Plus this and forgive my, I don't know the exact abbreviation for it, but it's like the ERCC something number where everything's supposed to be streamlined and supposed to be able to call and get a bed, etc. But nobody has ever come and given us real viable information. Like no one's ever shown up and said, call this number right now and you can get a bed or you could get intake. There's no actual mechanism other than call 211. And so I think it's time that we demand that they tell us, precisely what they have and what they're working with. And I think we need to demand more than one case manager, because how many people are they servicing? The entire SPA 5, and you have one case manager? Come on now. If a teacher can barely handle 30 students, how can one case manager handle people's lives in that capacity? And that's where I feel like we should be, banging the pots and pans and sounding the alarm. One case manager? That's crazy. It's crazy.
Okay, Pat had his hand up first, and then
I'm sorry, I'd like to go because Pat's already had a chance to speak.
Okay. One thing I just like to say
And
after
Judy too.
what Sarah said is that's something I think we definitely could make into a motion, is specific data that we want from St. Joseph's if we're going to make a decision about whether we even want to keep them as our service provider, because there's an option of having the people's concern be our service provider instead of them. And so that's something I think that we could cobble into a formal motion, that we would, I don't know if we need to have a formal motion to ask them for the data, but I think it would be coming out of the meeting, something that might be, sounds like an action step. Can I ask you one question, Sarah? Where did you get the information that they only have one case manager?
They said it at the
They said
meeting.
it. They said it at the meeting, and
Oh my gosh. I couldn't hear everything because I was dealing with people.
Yeah, no, I've asked them that, and that's been my biggest issue. Aside from, forget a case manager, you can get a case manager. Case manager just works the case. What we don't actually have is 24-hour intake. And if you don't have intake, you can't get people into a shelter. So if you have someone at 11 o'clock at night in the rain and you want to get them into a shelter, you have to wait till the following morning after 9 a.m., provided it's not a weekend holiday.
I was gonna say, it's as long as it's not
something
a Friday
like
night.
that.
I mean, that is absolutely not acceptable. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that at the meeting because I must have been trying to get.
And I was just like, this is crazy. You guys get hundreds of millions of dollars and you have one case manager, and meanwhile,
that's being defunded.
Yeah.
So,
and they are not
they're talking
accessible.
about closing the center.
And they're not accessible, and they do not really return calls. And I feel very grateful to have gotten a call back. But I will almost guarantee, and I agree with Nick, I know I have reached that receptionist at the front, Jeremy, year after year after year after year. And it feels like smashing my face on a brick wall. They won't give answers. They run you in a circle.
I got to let Lisa talk now.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Lisa.
Yeah. I'm going to say, I want to thank Sarah for bringing it back to the conversation. Whereas it's very important that we talk about, maybe next month, we have a deep dive into the new department. And maybe we can get Sarah Maheen to talk and come and visit, or whatever. We can talk about that next month. But I don't want to lose that opportunity to really take the deep dive into what occurred last month with the St. Joseph presentation. And the thing that came out to me that was most shocking was the guy from the Department of Mental Health basically said they have one multidisciplinary outreach team that covers all of SPA 5. And SPA 5, because maybe our population is as dense as like South LA, it's huge. So we're talking one multidisciplinary DMH team that covers Santa Monica, Venice, Mar Vista, Palms, Westchester, Culver City, Malibu, Beverly Hills, and large parts of West LA.
Did you say how big that team was, Lisa?
One team, which is probably two.
How many people in that team did it?
Probably at least 2. Maybe it's 3. And they all travel together. So, and then because of just now, we're also, what came up a lot was the interdisconnectivity between city and county and service providers and people constantly being swept and moved. How can someone make base and touch base with somebody and then maybe come round to seeing them again 3.5 to 4.5 weeks later, they're not going to be there anymore. How can you develop a team? And then what hit me, that just was the most striking thing for me, that it's come down to one team in a time when homelessness, as much as maybe people say it's down, it's not. And what's real, it appears down because there aren't as many tents and encampments, but there's a lot more rough sleepers. The level and the amount of people homeless is about the same. It's just not as visible because you don't have large scale encampments anymore. They're rough sleeping, they're hiding, which makes people even more transient and more difficult to find and more untenable to provide services for, if we even have people. And since that time, the week before last came out that of the $1 billion the city had for services for homelessness in 2025, almost 500 million went unused. The city controller did an audit, and so there was all that money sitting on the table, and everyone's complaining, we don't have money for services, we don't have money for teams, we don't have money for housing, we don't, and yet here was $500,000 that went untouched.
500,000 or 500 million? What did you say?
Half a billion.
Half a billion. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what we do with that information. But it's just, and then and Sarah knows this, but then you look at how it is actually working in Hollywood, and why can't we roll that out to other places? I don't know. It's all frustrating to me, but to have one DMH team that covers all of SPA 5 is just, how can you provide any kind of services, especially when you are on the street and you do have mental health issues. And I don't care, even if you're not schizophrenic, if you're sleeping outside, you have some mental health challenges more than somebody who is housed, because you're without sleep, you're without proper nutrition, services, and we only have one mental health team that is
All right.
seeing.
So
But wait, I'm sorry. Judy was next, Pat. Wasn't, oh no, you were, and then Judy. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, you were. Yeah.
So there was a conversation about what it is that we can do to actually have a better impact. A lot of times what we have seen in policing that has actually moved the needle a little bit, even if not as much as could be moved, is when there is empowered some sufficient oversight. So outside oversight that is independent of St. Joseph getting to report about themselves, right? So the people who are doing the oversight would have to be empowered in such a way where they have access to data, access to contracts, access to internal communications in such a way where they can perform the oversight task. And I believe it's only.
You don't mean policing like LAPD kind of police.
No. I'm saying the same way in policing, independent community oversight was able to move the needle a little bit. In this instance, in homeless funding and wasting, I feel like the only thing that can maybe start unraveling some of this is if a board was independently empowered to perform oversight. And the oversight has to be empowered in such a way where they can really see what's going on. And then as a committee of stakeholders, offer recommendations and help steer some of the outcomes. Because if we're saying this is unacceptable, well, it's kind of being done unto us, right? So they're going to keep doing unto us whatever they can get away with doing unto us, and who's going to say otherwise if we continue to fund it?
Well, the thing, in all fairness, that's actually what this new department is one of its main focuses is accountability, because LASA was busted wide open, as we all know, with corruption. And so that was their big statement, is that the county oversight theoretically is supposed to, but the problem is it doesn't get down to us, for example, with St. Joseph's in Venice. Nobody's looking at how many caseworkers we have, how many Department of Mental Health people we have. And that, or the fact that if you don't change the policies that aren't working, just the fact that you have a bunch of staff and data and oversight is, as Judy was saying,
our charge is Venice,
problem.
and St. Joseph is operating in Venice. So let's not get too big picture. Let's kind of narrow it down to here, because what is happening here is affecting all of us, and it's like we don't have a say so in how it's playing out.
Judy, you're next.
I would suggest that we do a formal motion, and what I think needs to be in it is that we are asking the Venice Neighborhood Council to direct St. Joseph's to provide monthly public reporting on measurable outcomes that include.
Go a little bit slower, because I have to write this down.
Okay.
I've got to monthly public reporting
on measurable outcomes, including housing placement, location, and type of housing.
Hold on a sec, not so fast.
Didn't we already pass a motion like this? I feel like we passed this exact motion at some point.
Okay, can I finish? Okay. Location and
outcomes, including
location and type of housing, housing retention and stability.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. The frequency.
Hold on.
Why don't you type it up and send it?
Okay, where I already did type it, where there's no comment section here.
Is there no chat, Lisa?
No.
Give me the chat and I'll put it in.
You can email it.
Yeah, I try to chat as well. It only has whiteboard.
Email it to me and I'll post it. I'll share it.
Okay, I don't know your email right off. Could you
what's your email?
Wait, let me see if I could find your email here.
Well,
okay, I just found it. I'm going to send it to you right now.
I don't have. Okay, all right. Go ahead.
Oh wait, this is Allie's. Wait a second. I need to get yours. Hold on.
I don't have the ability to put it.
You could share it.
I don't know how to. Hold on.
Lisa's going to share it, Naomi. She's going to send
it. She emails it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I can't write fast.
Yeah, she could just share it and we could see it.
Okay, here it comes. I'm sending it to Lisa. And she can do what? I have two of them actually.
Did you get it, Lisa?
Not yet.
I'm just sending.
Okay.
I can. My fingers only go so fast. Okay, it's gone. Sent to you.
I don't think, just Sarah, while we're waiting, I don't think we've ever made a motion about St. Joseph's on the Venice Neighborhood Council. Not since I've been there.
Well, if we're going to do a motion that we have the neighborhood council approve or give the direction, then it also should include the homelessness committee as the contact person or the
okay.
person
I'm gonna text it to everybody right now, so you guys can look at it and change it.
Lisa can share it on her screen.
I'm getting it. I had to send it to this computer that I'm on the Zoom.
Okay.
So give me a moment. But
the public can see it.
Okay.
I will when I get it. I'll share it. So
you haven't gotten it yet.
I sent you a text with it just now.
Okay.
So we can all look at it together and work on it together.
And while we're waiting for this, the other thing I mean, we definitely can bring up is, I mean, I think maybe we can try putting pressure as we're going to on data from St. Joseph's, and also the other thing we can do is invite the people's concerned to come talk to us in the meantime and see what they have to say and how many service providers they would have, how many mental health workers do they have, what are their, I know they have the LEAD program, which I sent you all a thing from Jonah about, but
The LEAD program is really the police department.
it's working with them.
It's not really working. I looked at the data. It's mixed.
Anyway,
I
I don't
think
know. I don't know if we want to go down that avenue, if we want to keep trying to create a relationship with St. Joseph's and hold them accountable and make it better.
All right, can you guys see that?
Not yet.
I think we do need to hold them accountable while we're looking at other options. We can do both.
It's not up on the screen
I'm
yet.
seeing a black screen, but I am viewing your
See
screen.
that? I don't understand why it's not on the screen. Let me try it again.
It says you are viewing Lisa's screen, but there's Pat.
so. So Lisa, you're the host, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
and
so
I'm trying to figure all this out.
Mm-hmm. Share. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to send an email to everybody right now.
All right. I don't know.
Lisa, you're breaking up. Your voice.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay. I also sent it to everybody in an email and in a text.
Motions to our own city council person and city people. So that would be the mayor. Departments within the mayor's office.
Wait, Lisa, I can't read this. Well, I'm sorry. Hold on one sec.
I'm not sure the public can read it. Maybe we should read it out loud.
Okay.
It says direct St. Joseph to provide.
Wait, you're breaking up though, Lisa. You're
All right, then have someone else read it.
Naomi, will you read it?
I'll read it. Yeah, it says direct St. Joseph to provide monthly public reporting on measurable outcomes, including housing replacement, location and type of housing, housing retention and stability, frequency of case manager contacts with clients, treatment engagement for high acuity individuals. Next paragraph. Request detailed information on program performance, including definitions of metrics, data collection methods, and outcomes over time. Require independent, empowered oversight to review outcomes and enforce accountability and tie continued funding to demonstrated results with clear responsibility for sustaining housing and stabilization. Just shrink it down because I have to keep moving it over. Okay. Direct the Department of Mental Health to provide regular public reporting on measurable outcomes for high acuity clients, including time from referral to psychiatric evaluation, time to initiation of medication when prescribed, frequency and consistency of case manager and clinical contacts, rates of treatment engagement at 30, 90, and 180 days, medication adherence rates where applicable, coordination with housing providers to support clinical stabilization, require that continued funding be tied to demonstrated improvement in these outcomes. I think that's the end of it.
Anybody want to comment on this? Now, since it's a motion that's being proposed, do we get feedback from the public on it?
He needs to make a motion.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, honey.
You have to make the motion first, and then the motion gets approved and presented, and then you get public comment, I guess.
Well, how about us just talking about the motion first? What do people, there's some things that wording for me that's a little complex.
Well, I think that we're asking them to do a lot in terms of the staffing, record keeping, and the time that it would take in terms of collecting and reporting and putting this data in the system. So I'm wondering, given that they're already talking about the lack of staffing and the budget reductions that they'll be facing, if it's reasonable for us to make this comprehensive type of requirement. Not saying that these are not things that we would want to see, but is it reasonable?
I think three things in the first paragraph they should have hopefully readily available. Housing placement, how many in a month? Location and the type of housing, and frequency of case manager contacts with clients. Although that's, it's, of course, we want more than just contacts with clients, because that's where they make their money, is making contacts with clients, and then they don't do anything. And that's the frustration.
And that's subjective with the contact with clients. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in, but I forgot the hand's not working.
I mean, housing retention and stability, that's a very tough thing to measure. And that would take, that's a lot of, if we could get just sort of data, like.
I would say, let them come back and tell us they don't have this. Everything here should be tied to their funding. Naomi, having worked on a lot of programs, and I know you have too, when the amount of funding that they receive is not tied, these are very, very basic metrics. And
I agree with that. It's pretty standard, the 30, 90, 100 days, 180 days engagement information. I get that. I guess it goes back to my initial question, is what's going to be different?
Well, I think the first thing is we have to see what's really happening. And they need to know that they have to be accountable to us. And more than anything, if we send the message out clearly like this, they can come back and say, well, we're sorry, we don't have it. And then we can decide what we want to do about that. But I think this is a very, very clear message to say, you failed us. We don't have enough information. And here is our request.
If this is a proposed motion, can I propose an amendment to it, please?
Sure.
I would like to add, very importantly, because this, again, I'm going to look into it a bit, but I do feel like if we haven't passed this motion, these are definitely things that we have repetitively asked them for. I know that to be a fact. Now, I feel like in the past, we've gotten answers like, oh, they can't give us certain things, or privacy, or HIPAA, but it just, it seems like a bunch of noise. But I do think it's important that we know how many vouchers St. Joseph's is in possession of, because I'm going to stress this to you guys like I can't stress it enough. It does not matter how much funding is there for St. Joseph's.
Okay,
It does not.
Sarah, I'm going to stop you for 1 second. I just realized, I think before we start amending stuff, can we just make this motion so that we can really discuss it and then amend it, Lisa? Isn't that the best way to do it?
We've got a couple of hands up in the public.
I can't hear you.
We have a couple hands up in the public.
Right. So can we make this motion so that we can therefore talk about either doing it or amending it? I think we can't have public comment or even board comment. So I'm going to make this motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
We're discussing.
Lisa, I'm sorry, we can't hear you.
I don't understand.
It's your speaker, Lisa, I think.
I'm trying to speak. Can you hear me
No.
now?
Yeah.
No.
At my place.
Sorry, we can't hear you, honey. Shoot, text me.
I'm done.
No, I think you could hear. I think it's just the speaker. Is something else on in your house? Because it's like a little warbling sound. That's all. So
yeah, we heard you before.
I don't know what happened.
Okay, now you're better. You were better. Were you closer?
No, I just raised the volume.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you're better.
We are a committee. Committees work differently than the board. We can plan, we can create, we can discuss and create motions. That's what committees do. They work out together. They don't have to be as formal as the actual board.
Okay.
However, and you can even go to the public now. But if you go to the public after we make a motion and second it, then you're gonna have to go to the public again. So you might as well make the motion and then we can amend it and create it differently. So you might as well get public input on it now.
Okay.
Wait, so can I finish?
I don't know. I didn't hear any of that, guys.
So Lisa, I should make the motion and someone will second it and then we can take public comment and board comment. Okay. So I will make the motion.
I'll second it. I'll second it.
Okay. So there, so you can go on with your amendment and then we can also take, I can't see.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just make it quick. The amendment is just to add the actual number of vouchers that they have. Okay. Because at the end of the day, if they don't have vouchers, we need to know how much funding and subsidies they have, because there could be 100 empty affordable units, but if there is not the subsidies or the funding from HUD or Section 8 or the county, wherever the funding is coming from, if that's not there, nobody's going anywhere. And we're literally just paying people to stay in subpar motels with no services endlessly. It's an endless money pit. So sorry, the amendment is to find out how much subsidy they have and how many vouchers they have. COC vouchers, Section 8 vouchers, family vouchers, emergency housing vouchers, and disaster vouchers. These are all the different types of vouchers that they have.
Anybody want to comment? I can't see hands, Lisa. So if you could help.
I have a question. It's not an amendment. It's a question as to if this is going to the neighborhood council. Should we not also say that the responses from these questions should come through back to the homelessness committee as the oversight, or the neighborhood council's directed responsible person for receiving information that we're asking for? Or is that understood?
So maybe direct St. Joseph's to provide monthly public reporting on measurable outcomes to the homelessness committee.
Right.
Would that be good?
That's what I'm asking. Because who else would they be giving this information to?
Nick is still the one with his hand up.
Okay, hold on 1 second, Nick. I'm just writing this down. To homelessness committee. Judy, can you type this in, these things that are being added?
No, I'm having trouble with my computer right now. I don't know what happened. I only have sound. I'm having trouble. I'm trying to fix it.
Let me say so. So Lisa, does that question make sense in terms of who to whom, since we're asking the neighborhood council to direct
There.
um,
Okay.
St.
Okay.
Joseph Center to provide this information,
St.
should it
Joseph.
also say to whom the information should be provided to?
Maybe we should say to the Venice Neighborhood Council Homelessness Committee and the CD11 homelessness team.
We cannot send
I
a
think
motion.
we can't.
Wait. Lisa's saying something.
We cannot send a motion to St. Joseph Center asking this information.
No, we're sending. No, we're okay.
City
We're sending.
council get this information.
Has to go to the Venice Neighborhood Council to get voted on.
Yeah, why can't we do that?
What are you saying?
She's saying the
Are you
information
taking
goes to
public
the
comment?
council
I mean,
member, and it has to, the information that we are requesting will go to our council person, who will then relay it to us, ideally via Sean Silva. Is that correct, Lisa? Thumbs up.
We cannot send motions to service providers, to the county, to the federal government.
No, we're asking CD11 to direct St. Joseph's to provide, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
are you taking public comment on this mess?
hold on one second, Nick.
This mess.
Because I have a lot to say and I'm waiting for public comment.
Okay, there you go, Nick. Okay. Yes.
First of all, you have on the screen an email saying you want 2 motions. You have a motion made by the chairperson. There is no second. There is no verbiage on the motion. I don't know what you're voting on. I don't think you know what you're voting on. If you're going to have 2 motions, and the first motion would be regarding the St. Joseph's communications. The second motion would be to direct the Department of Health. All of this would then go to the VNC, and then the VNC, I imagine, would send this to Tracy Park. I mean, this whole thing is a mess. And you don't even have a motion on the floor. I mean, this is just outrageous that
There was a
We have a
motion.
motion.
There was a motion and there was a second.
Never been stated. I'm under public comment. Let me speak.
There was a
There
motion.
is no motion. What you have on the screen is an email from someone saying that you'd like to do 2 things. Get information from St. Joseph's and from the Department of Mental Health. Where is the motion? It's not stated. It's not implied. You have to write a motion, get a motion, and then it's seconded, and then public comment. It's pretty straightforward. I think Lisa Redmond would even agree with me on that.
Thank you. Man.
Hi, I understand that we are trying to work and try to solve problems, but I think that you guys are also only focusing on the services and are not focusing also on how many of the people are not accepting the services. Because we all know that there's people that do not want these services, that are constant issues in the neighborhood. Most recently, there was that whole story of a woman living in a some sort of what is it, like underground, right, in a sewer, and the Department of Mental Health tried to give her services, and she just ran away. So I think that is also a very important aspect to this issue, is the people that don't want to receive help. And you guys should also be focusing on what are we requesting the city and the county and all the service providers to do with the people that don't want help and that just want to live in that situation.
Thank you, Manny. I mean, that's a whole nother issue, but I hear you for sure. But that doesn't have to do with this particular motion, which is wanting to get information from our service providers. I mean, I tend to agree with Nick that this should be broken into 2 things.
It has to be broken, and that was my intent was to have two motions and to
Okay.
put it in the correct language. I would also like to say to Manny, the issue that you're raising would take up a whole meeting to talk about how to handle people who are non-compliant, people who don't want services. That's a whole different topic, but I think it's super important, and I'd like to put it on the agenda for the future.
Remind everybody, we do not respond to public comment, okay? We don't respond to public comment, especially while they're talking. Okay. Lydia has her hand up.
Lydia, can you hear us?
No, I haven't allowed her to talk. Now she can.
Yeah, I just got unmuted. There's a little delay. You know, I shudder to think if the voices of anger and frustration, as Nick always expresses his total disregard and disrespect totally in his comments, how that's going to help anyone here. And you know, the fact that even Manny brought it up, I thank you, Manny, for bringing that up. If you look to the news, if you search, there are city and county mandates, different laws and or things coming up, proposals coming up to what to do if and when. I'm really fearful of people who aren't in their mental capacity, full mental capacity to make decisions for themselves, to keep themselves safe and safe from others. However, I'm seeing that it's going to be met with violence. And there are a lot of people in Venice who come to our meetings who do not have a problem with that. And short of a ticket to Barstow, one-way ticket to Barstow, that's what's been said for the last 25 years. So I'm hoping that the more genuine and gentle voice to these things, I understand that people are angry and frustrated, and there's many things to be angry and frustrated, but this is not the place. We need to be gentle with one another. And I am frustrated that we're not building the affordable housing that we need in our CD district. And everyone else is ribbon cuttings and celebrations. So, you know, I hope that we can calm down and show good faith that we can be better relatives, better neighbors, and better people for it. I wouldn't come to you, Nick, if I was having a mental health breakdown. I wouldn't come to you at all. You've never shown any kindness to anyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia. Your time is up.
I'm sorry, Lisa, what did you say?
Lydia's time was up.
I'm sorry. What are you saying, Lisa?
She said Lydia's time was up.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
all.
Yeah, she's done. Is there anyone else with a hand up?
Somebody named Rob LNL.
This is Scott. I'm sorry, my name's Rob. First, I want to thank everybody for being here, trying to help out. I think this is a good start. I've lost some close personal people to me from addiction, mental illness, and living on the streets. The system has failed them. Getting help is costly, or the legal system makes their lives harder. I appreciate all you trying to create ways to address and give support. I think this is a good start. My only concern is what kind of oversight will you have? Like maybe some random checks, because it's so easy to kind of doctor these things, just like everything else. So I thought maybe there needs to be some kind of oversight where you have somebody randomly go and check and make sure people are being housed. How do you know how many people are being housed? I mean, you can just write anything. So I think there needs to be some kind of way to have accountability on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Scott.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know how we get. I'm not supposed to answer. Sorry. Okay, are we back to the board now?
Back to the committee.
Committee, sorry. Yeah.
Nick's hand raised again, but he's already spoken.
So the one language we have to change is that we ask, I mean, I like Lisa, maybe you can create the language that we ask CD11 to direct. Is that how we should phrase it?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how to type any of this in to make a new motion.
I'm not typing it in either.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know how do you normally do this when you're amending a motion?
However,
I'm asking, do our motion go to CD11 or to the neighborhood council?
It goes to the neighborhood council to go to CD11.
Right, exactly.
So we are asking CD11 to direct St. Joseph's, but the board of the VNC has to pass it first.
Exactly. Right? Yes.
So the language, I believe, should say that we ask CD11 to direct St. Joseph's to provide a monthly public report on measurable outcomes to the Venice Neighborhood Council Homelessness Committee, including. Isn't that how the wording should go, Lisa?
yes, but I'd like to speak to this, please.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm kind of against all of this because I think we're wasting our time. I believe we've kind of made motions like this before. I don't think that the Venice Neighborhood Council is any more privileged than the Mar Vista Community Council or the West LA Sawtell Neighborhood Council or the Pacific Palisades Community Council. I think we're asking for pie in the sky information that we're not going to get. I believe everyone knows I'm no fan of Tracy Park, but I believe her office has been asking for these same kind of metrics for the last 3 years as well, and they're not getting it. The city controller has been trying to get this same information. They're not getting it to audit homeless services. I really don't know what we're doing. I think we could drill it down more specifically to how it works by what Sarah's asking for. How many vouchers are they using? How many vouchers do they have? How many vouchers are being given out? How many vouchers are being allotted? Because that's really the only way people get into housing right now, because there is no housing being built in CD11 in this area. There's no shelters in this area. All that we do is provide people maybe hotel services. I don't know. I don't mean to be a negative Nancy. I think it's good sometimes to dream big and go ahead and ask and who knows what we might get. But I also think we're spinning our wheels a lot here, asking for a pie in the sky, which I think is kind of wasting everyone's time too. That's my opinion on it.
Well, my feeling is if we don't shine a Klieg light on, if CD11 is not being able to get this information, all that you can do is they came and they spoke to us and now we are reacting. And I think we have to, if nobody else talks about it, if nobody shines a Klieg light on it, then we got the same old, which we've had now that's why nothing's happening because nobody's holding anybody accountable. That's my feeling. So I think it's a good idea to at least let them know that we're dissatisfied. Judy?
Yes, I want to second what Allie is saying, and I want to remind everybody, St. Joseph's reached out to us. They were having a lot of public relations problems, and they asked us if we would meet with them. They initiated contact with us after ignoring us for a long time. And that's because they got into some big trouble. And now they're trying to clean up the problems that they created. And I think, given that they reached out to us, I think we need to respond to them. And I think that this motion very clearly says we want more information, we want data, we want a lot of things that we're not getting. And I think that we could write a letter to St. Joseph's, thanking them for speaking, for meeting with us. They asked us for follow-up, and we can tell them this is our follow-up, and keep the conversation going, but also let them know that we feel like the information that they gave us was incomplete, and that we don't want to be simply used as a public relations platform.
I think people are missing my point. I do appreciate the shining the Klieg light. However, are we asking for too much and everything's going to be ignored? Why can't we drill it down to something very specific? Why can't we ask for or demand for more funding for additional DMH teams? Why can't, that's the thing we're looking at. How are we going to get anything service if we're only asking for data when really we should be demanding more services, not necessarily data?
We could do that separately.
Naomi, what do you think?
I like the concept of this motion and then the follow-up motion with the specifics that Sarah and Lisa are talking about that ask for the services. But I think both of them are important.
Okay, so can we cobble together language for this motion and then have conversation and vote on it? So
and we have this what as just a suggestion that what Judy put forth here as a motion, and then to put together what Sarah and Lisa have said also as a second motion rather than as an amendment to this motion.
I think Judy was also saying that there should be two motions.
One to the Department of Mental Health and one to St. Joseph's. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And then, but Naomi, why?
I misunderstood her then. No, I misunderstood. So you're saying
the first one was to St. Joseph's, and it would include Sarah's voucher language and Lisa's services language.
That would be fine as long as it's included.
So the language would be the Venice Neighborhood Council directs. Do you say directs? Is that kind of bossy? CD11 to no, I mean, asks CD11 to direct. Can someone help me with the language? I'm not very good at language.
We request
the VNC requests
the
CD11 to direct.
To direct.
Okay, to direct. Yeah. And then that language holds St. Joseph's to provide monthly public reporting on measurable outcomes, including housing,
blah, blah. Yep.
Housing placement, location, all of that acceptable, guys. Housing retention and stability. That's going to take a lot of labor, don't you think?
Doesn't matter. Let them say they can't do it.
Frequency of case manager contacts with clients, treatment engagement for high acuity individuals. And then Sarah, how would you word your amendment to add there? And I'll write it down. Is she muted, Lisa? Sarah?
Yeah,
she's
sorry,
open now.
I'm having a terrible time with
no
this.
Worries, honey.
But I would just say we would like to request.
No, just so I'm adding it to that thing. Public reporting on measurable outcomes, including
a current number of different vouchers.
The various vouchers.
Yes.
Available or just different vouchers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Available.
The exact number of available current vouchers, be it COC, which is continuum of care, a family voucher for people.
Hold on. If you're going to write that, I have to write that. Can you start again? What are the list of the?
It's going to be COC voucher.
Okay.
Section 8 voucher,
Mm-hmm.
family voucher,
Mm-hmm.
disaster vouchers, and emergency housing vouchers.
Okay, great. Okay. And then it says request detailed information on program performance, including definitions of metrics, data collection methods, and outcomes over time. Is that just me, or does anyone have a problem understanding that sentence? Is that completely clear to everybody? And yes, put that in.
They're program people. They know what you're asking, what's
Okay.
being asked.
Sorry, because I'm a little obtuse with this stuff. Okay, so we'll keep that. Require independent, empowered oversight to review outcomes and enforce accountability and tie continued funding to demonstrated results with clear responsibility. See, this is, I don't know if it's anyone, if it's just me, but that's a little like, my brain is exploding.
My question here, Judy, is required of whom?
Of either St. Joseph.
St. Joseph.
In other words, this is what Pat was. I tried to include what Pat was asking us to do.
Independent, empowered oversight to review outcomes. That part I'm not. Independent, empowered oversight for whom? For an outside person? For an external, independent? So then I think that's what it should say, because that's confusing language. So I would say require independent,
outside oversight?
Independent,
This is exactly, is Pat still on here? This is what he was asking. I just wrote it up.
No, I understand what you're asking, but the reason that I asked the question is because I wasn't clear. It wasn't clear to me. So require independent external oversight.
What would it mean?
Independent external oversight. You want some objective third party. You could say third party. Require independent third party oversight to review outcomes.
Require third party oversight.
Require independent third party oversight to review outcomes.
Oversight to review outcomes. Meaning outcomes of
the results of the services or efforts to provide the services, or what's in reference to all of the above. Housing placement, location type, all of that. You want someone to be able to check to see what's being done, if it's in fact being done.
So require independent third party oversight to review outcomes of the above. Is that okay?
Well,
it's
you
like
can put.
It's like what Judge Carter is doing.
Yeah.
You could say on program performance.
Outcomes, to review outcomes of program performance.
Program performance.
And all of the above.
Yeah.
Of program performance and all of the above, or of all of the above?
In reference to all of the above. In reference to the above listed outcomes, or
to all of the above.
Request detailed, or whatever you have, in reference to the
independent third party oversight to review outcomes of program performance in reference to all of the above.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to read this motion. This is the first motion, and I will read it because I don't know how to type it in. The VNC requests CD11 to direct St. Joseph's to provide monthly public reporting on measurable outcome, including: housing placement, location and type of housing, housing retention and stability, frequency of case manager contacts with clients, treatment engagement for high acuity individuals, and the current number of different I have current twice, wait. And the number of different current vouchers available, COC vouchers, Section 8 vouchers, family vouchers, disaster, is it just disaster vouchers, Sarah? Disaster relief, disaster vouchers?
So that, yeah, disaster vouchers.
Yeah, there's
And,
disaster.
and
And
emergency housing vouchers.
Yeah.
Request detailed information on program performance, including definition of metrics, data collection methods, and outcomes over time. Require independent third-party oversight to review outcomes of program performance in reference to all of the above. Do I have a second on the motion?
I second it.
And now, is this when I take public comment, Lisa?
We've made many amendments.
I'm sorry.
We made many amendments, so we should hear from public again.
Yeah. Is there any public comment on this motion with the amendments?
You get my clock out.
I can't see hands, unfortunately, so.
I don't see any hands, but Lisa can see hands that I can't see.
Nick has a hand up. I see that at the top there. Okay. Nick?
1 minute.
Just a recommendation. You don't take amendments on a motion that wasn't written. All you do is take Sarah's recommendations and insert it into the motion, which you did. So this is the motion. There is no amended motion. This is the motion. Okay. So the other point I wanted to make is that you should send this to the city controller's office, because that's the guy who could actually get this information that you're seeking. And he could audit people like service providers like St. Joseph.
All right, thank you.
I have a question. Sorry. Can I not make is there another public comment? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I have a question afterwards about that.
Lydia, go ahead.
Hi. I still think something should be added on there to also find out how many people are turning away their services. We want to know how many take them and how many decline them. And I think that's also very important to paint a bigger picture. And as a stakeholder, I would like to know that.
All right, thank you, Manny.
Thank you.
Lydia.
Yeah.
Lydia, sorry, I did that. I did that. Oops, I accidentally disconnected her. All right, let's try it again. Go ahead, Lydia. Sorry about that.
Yeah, thank you. What we're talking about is the deliverables. You have to look to see under their funding what they're being funded for. It should be public record. It should be definitely under charitable navigators to see if they even drop their name and their the mission statement, the whole thing. We can see for every dollar that is spent, what is spent on actual services and what is actually spent on overhead, including payroll. My thing, I'm big on deliverables, but why is it that we can't pick up the oversight? Black Lives Matter did it. White People for Black Lives did it. Why can't we as community oversee? And it's going to be very easy to construct that. Either they deliver or they don't. They don't get to ask for more money, or we don't support them getting more money. The fact is that whenever I see St. Joseph's, they're riding around or walking around with clipboards and their cell phones, and they're poking at their cell phones and not engaging with people. And I don't see them doing much of anything. So yes, and it should be included as far as who's receiving services and how many people have declined. The bigger question is, Why are they declining? All right. Well, thank you. I think that you could very well be a pre-review for funding, much like LUPC was somewhat of a precondition to move the proposed plans for land use through them before it went to city planning. So I think you guys could be a stepping stone for that and oversight.
Can you say that again, Lydia, that last thing?
I think that this committee can be oversight for in collaboration or in right relations to review what exactly have they done in Venice. You can hold them accountable. There's a community oversight epic, muscle that you can pull, that you can use. They have to answer to us.
This motion is, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to respond. Never mind.
No, don't respond. Call me later. Call me tomorrow. Bye.
Okay.
Time is up.
There's nothing that prohibits the chairperson from making a comment.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I think that's what we're trying to do with this motion, actually, Lydia. That's what I'm hoping we'll do. So have we heard from Rob?
Scott.
Is that Scott?
Rob.
Scott.
Scott, yeah.
Hi, Scott.
Thank you. I appreciate the motion. I think it's a good start. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for doing this. It's kind of disappointing that these guys aren't keeping the ledgers to begin with. So I'm kind of perplexed on why this is all of a sudden now being proposed. You might also consider adding something about food, transportation. I mean, there's probably some other things here that might be relevant, but I think it's a good start. You can always, make some changes later if you decide, but it's good to get something out. And then I'd be curious to see what other cities and other people are doing, how they have maybe community oversight and accountability, and just kind of see what kind of proposals they're using. That might be helpful towards coming up with a really good, powerful document. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. That's a good idea. Is that you, Sarah? A hand? Or is that public?
Sarah.
She needs to unmute though.
Oh, I think I'm out.
Oh. Are we
I don't need to speak.
Comment?
No comment.
Lisa?
We're out of public comment. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I think that we could take a vote on this motion and then move on to the second one, because I know we got a time crunch. I don't want everybody to stay up too late. So can I just take it to a vote, Lisa?
Yes, you could. Okay. If I would read it one more final time.
I will read it one more final time.
Because there were many changes.
The Venice Neighborhood Council requests CD11. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually did have a question before we do this. We can't add the city controller to CD11, right? Correct. Right. Okay. Thank you. I was just curious. And then the other thing that I sort of liked adding is what Manny said, when we say measuring the outcomes, including housing, placement, location, frequency of case manager contacts with clients, and number of clients that refused services. Do you want to add that or not? I like that. I'm sorry.
Like
yeah. Anybody else?
I like the idea of number of clients that refuse services, and
I do too. And I think that's the place to put it right there. So it's contacts with contacts with clients.
I disagree on that.
Hold on a second.
Sorry, I think too.
Hold on one second, Lisa. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Go on. I was just writing.
People get caught up on people refusing services, and that's not a measurable thing. People refuse services for many, many reasons. I would bet you anything that woman that is living in the manhole is probably had all kinds of problems with services in the past, and you're not going to build to get somebody who has severe mental issues to live in a manhole amongst filth and trash needs to build up a relationship, needs to build up trust, needs to build up some kind of rapport. And you're not going to get that if you've got one mental health team that is only seeing people once every 6 weeks or 5 weeks or 4 weeks. It's not as easy as people think. I just, it's not a measurable thing to say, well, they refuse services. There's all kinds of reasons why people refuse services.
We're not talking about reasons. We're just talking about number of people that refuse them, or not reasons they take it either. It's just.
But then that's a measurable thing that people are going to say, well, look, 48% of the people don't want the services that are offered to them.
Okay, so since I was sort of introducing an amendment, does anybody else have an opinion other than Dr. Nightingale? Anyone on the committee? Whether it should be added or not? Does anybody care?
Yeah, Sarah's hand is up, but she's
Sarah?
You're muted, Sarah. Yeah, okay.
I mean, I think it's important in the aspect that I always want the community and the stakeholders that we represent to be heard. Do I think it's data that is important to the overall scheme? And do I agree with Lisa? Also, yes. So I think in the spirit of getting the stakeholders the information they want, this seems to be important. So we might as well ask whether or not the data correlates to anything of substance or means anything is a whole other story. But let's let the stakeholders know how many percentage or how many people are declining the services. And maybe we should ask them what those services were. What are they declining? A motel? Are they declining permanent housing? Are they declining a mental health bed? I mean, if we're going to ask that, we should know what they're declining. So anyways, that's it. Thank you.
Judy, do you have an opinion? No?
Not really.
Or Pat? No? Judy, no, or?
No.
I'm voting. Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't understand your question. What?
I just wondered if you had an opinion on this amendment of adding refusing services to that line, because someone suggested it.
I think that we're adding too many things here. I don't think refusing services is what we're asking. I mean, what are we really asking them?
All right. And then Pat, do you have an opinion before we have to take public comment because it was an amendment that was.
No.
Pat, no, Pat, any public comment? Lisa, any hands in the public?
But we don't really necessarily need to take public comment again.
No,
Don't we? I mean, like whether to put, I
said we didn't need to keep going back.
I'm sorry.
No, we don't have to take public comment. We're just, the essence of the motion is still the same.
Okay. So do we even want to, I can't tell how many people want it in and don't want it in. So do we vote? I don't know how this works legally.
You created a motion, and if people want it, they can vote yes. And if people don't want it, they can vote no.
Right. So what I'm asking is, do we add
each
that
committee
line?
member?
Okay. So I'll ask each committee member. Pat, do you want to add that line that Manny recommended of people refusing services?
It's not here.
He's not here. Okay. So no. So Lisa's a no. Naomi.
Yes.
Okay. Judy.
No.
Sarah. Honey, you're muted. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm a yes. And is anyone else here? That's it? Okay. So what does that add up to?
3-2.
Okay. So we're going to add that line, frequency of case manager contacts with clients, and the number of people who refuse services. Is that okay wording?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, great. So with that added, I'm going to ask who's in favor of this motion? Lisa. I'm sorry. Can you hear her, Naomi?
No.
Okay.
Come closer, Lisa.
Okay. Naomi.
Yes.
Judy.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Okay, so the motion passes
4-1.
4-1. Okay, now let's cobble together the second. Here's the second motion and see if we want to keep the wording the way that it is. We have to add, I think, that same thing at the beginning. The VNC requests CD 11 to direct the Department of Mental Health to provide regular public reporting on measurable outcomes for high acuity clients, including, and should we say in Venice? Is that obvious? Because it's do we need to add in Venice, or? Because I mean, outcomes like all over the county, or you know what I mean? Do we need to add that, or is that obvious that it's coming from us? Judy or anyone?
We're only concerned about our gas. The
Right,
Venice,
so should we say
Venice
in
area?
Venice?
I don't know. So Lisa, what are you saying?
Clients in Venice?
Well, guys, I'm against this period. I think it's very hard to ask them to do this just for us.
Hmm.
It's up to you what you want to do, because I'm just kind of against it. So
Mm-hmm. So from a RAND perspective, would that be difficult to do?
yes, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you've got people that are floating back and forth between Venice and Mar Vista and Venice and Westchester. I think, the numbers are kind of the same, and
But so
everything is looked at from a big point of view per spa.
we want to know from the spa area. Yeah.
They might drill it down within their spa, but I don't think that they'll do that for us. But again, I don't know that they're even going to do this for us, period.
Right.
But
I'm sorry, Lisa. Julie just texted me. Can you see her hand is up, Lisa? That Julie Bean's hand has been up?
Can't see it. Didn't even know she was here.
Yeah. And we couldn't even take her vote. I'm sorry. We got to go back. You can't see her, Lisa?
I did. I tried to promote her a few times and she refused.
Hi, no, I did. I don't know what happened because I was on and then all of a sudden I was back to just a webinar. I don't want to interrupt everyone, but I just really wanted to say this is exactly why they get away with this shit, because no one holds them to the fire. Of course, why can't we ask for results in our area? I mean, it's ridiculous. I understand it might be difficult for them, but they need to do their fucking jobs, and they're not. Sorry.
We can ask, and if they can't provide it at that level, then they can let us know that. But
exactly, I think people let them get away with it, and that's why we're in this position 2 years later.
And I'm sorry, Julie, because you weren't.
That's okay.
No, did you want to vote?
Right.
Did you want to vote on the first motion? Because I didn't see you.
Is that to add whether we should ask them?
Yes, it's the first one for
yes.
St. Joseph's. Yes. Okay. So it's 5-1. Okay.
And the second one, yes, as well.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about my outburst, but it got built up when I couldn't say anything.
Okay, no worries.
Okay.
You're not the only one that throws the F-bomb on this platform. Okay, so direct the department. I'm going to read the motion. Sorry, again, adding, ask the Venice, wait, where's my motion? Shoot. Okay, the Venice Neighborhood Council asked CD11 to direct the Department of Mental Health to provide regular public reporting on measurable outcomes for high acuity clients in Venice, including time from referral to psychiatric evaluation, time to initiation of medication, time to initiation, is that right wording, Judy? Yes? Okay. Time to initiation of medication when prescribed, frequency and consistency of case manager and clinical contacts, rates of treatment engagement at 30, 90, and 180 days, medication adherence rates where applicable, coordination with housing providers to support clinical stabilization, require that continued funding be tied to demonstrated improvement in these outcomes. So that's the motion. Do I start with public comment, Lisa, or board comment?
I would get a first and make it the motion and get a
Okay, I'm
second.
sorry, I'm making this motion. Could I have a second?
Seconded.
Okay, second by Naomi.
I think it was Judy.
Oh, was that Judy? I'm sorry. Okay. Now, do I have to go to public comment first or board comment?
No, I'd go to public comment and then we
Okay.
finish and be done. And the only person whose hand is up is Nick.
Okay.
Hold on. We've got a few more hands popping up. All right, Nick, you've got 1 minute.
Yeah, someone said earlier that you can't send motions to the city controller. The Venice Neighborhood Council is a city agency. You can send it to any city agency. That's just a lie. And if you really want this information, it's the city controller that can extract it from them. We're an advisory board. We're not a Senate oversight committee. So if you want the information in a timely fashion, you want to lobby the city controller's office to get it. And I got to tell you, this has been the worst run meeting I've ever seen. You got members not even involved in being voting. They're not engaged. You got to really clean up your act. It's embarrassing.
Thank you. Is that it, Lisa, for public comment?
Scott?
I think this is really helpful to kind of collect the data, the information, not only to have accountability, but also I think it's resourceful to kind of know how we can improve, kind of get the data, the information, be able to process it. I appreciate, you guys want also putting in the part about how many people refuse. And and I also want to say thank you to Julie. I think she spelled it out perfectly. This should have been done a long time ago. There needs to be accountability on how this money's being spent and make sure that it's helping out the people that it's earmarked for. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Manny?
Manny.
Hi. So I think because this one involves DPH and the HSH, I think that the members should review all the information that's on their website first, because if you go on the website, it has a bunch of stats and a bunch of reports that you can download and look at the information. There's also like a whole tab that shows you what resources they're trying to hire and get for certain areas. So it might be a good idea to kind of just look at the information that they already post and then see if the letter is requesting that information that's already publicly available.
Thank you, Manny.
Okay, that's it.
That's it for public comment. Okay, now we'll go to committee comment. Judy.
Well, I would like to say that I think it's a great idea that we also ask the controller for this information. And in terms of this motion, I think we could add the statement about refusal that we added to the other one.
I'm sorry, I was writing that down. And then what was the second thing about refusal?
The same thing that we added to the first motion about refusal, people who refuse. I think
Okay, where would you add that in the language? Which line?
just add it as one last line, the same exact line that we used.
Well, we added it to one of your other sentences when frequency of case management contacts with clients and number of refusals to receive services. But where would you put it on this one?
Let me just, I'd have to pull it up here. I'm not
It's right on the computer, Judy, the motion.
What?
The motion is right here on the computer.
Yes, it's very, very small on mine and I can barely see it.
Can you use your finger, your thumb to move it up or to expand it? Does that help?
Because you're the one that sent it?
It's on my computer, so I'm not able to expand it. I'm sorry.
Okay, so if you add a last bullet on there that says number of clients who refuse service.
Okay, so it could just simply say, direct the Department of Mental Health to provide regular public reporting on measurable outcomes for high acuity clients, including clients who refuse services. Would be just one
number of clients. You want to know the number of clients that refuse services?
Yes, the number
that would be the last bullet.
It would be its own separate bullet point.
I'll make it the last bullet point. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
And I really think that both of these should go to the controller, that he should be included on it. In other words, that we're asking the Venice Neighborhood Council to ask the LA City Controller and Tracy Park or whoever,
CD11,
CD11, to request this information, because the city controller will have a lot more ability to get this information, I think.
Okay, Lisa, did you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's lied. Anything can go to a city controller because they are the city controller. We can ask them to do anything because they are a city office. However, we are asking for county information. The city controller cannot audit or control county information. They are controlling and auditing city dollars spent and city services, not county services.
But they can request it.
Okay, we can ask them to request it. I'm also against this motion. I think it's hard to track, especially what you're asking for, because you've got a lot of street medicine in there too that are not being watched over by the county with medical adherence in 30 and 60 and 90 days.
I think if we get into
Judy, wait, let her finish.
And Venice Family Clinic, they're out there giving a lot of psych meds. The UCLA street medicine team is out there giving a lot of street medicine and street engagement for psych meds and psych evaluations. So sure, go ahead and ask for it. But again, you're not going to get some good answers. Everybody wants to demand that we ask for answers, but I don't think everyone really has a deep understanding of the big picture and that you're kind of asking for the impossible. But go ahead and ask. It's like, go ahead and give Santa your Christmas list and hope that you get something. That's all I'm gonna say.
Julie.
Again, that's really concerns me. So there are 3 different organizations handing out medications to mental health. I mean, for people's mental health. How are they keeping track of all of it? I mean, it seems more important to me that we ask these questions if that's happening. That's all I have to say.
Okay, got you. Judy.
So,
Naomi, is your hand up too?
Yes.
so
Let me go to Naomi first because she didn't get to speak and you already have. So and then I'll come to you, Judy. Naomi.
I think it's important to ask because it's a matter of record what their response would be rather than just us assuming or going on our experience of what they can and can't do. As of July 1, they get a new level of responsibility, a new structure. I don't know what's going to happen July 1, but it's supposed to be different. So I would just like to know what they're going to do differently or if they're just going to be the same with the new start date, a new July 1 budget or whatever. But I think it's okay to ask and get a response and have that response as a part of our record or whatever it is that they do say. But I agree that asking a city agency to get information from a county agency, particularly when there has been a very definitive separation between city and county as it relates to St. Joseph and Lhasa, that's probably not going to happen. Probably not going to happen. I doubt that would happen at all because we can ask city services. We are an advisory committee. We can ask other city services, but we would be crossing the line if we go to asking county people to respond to our requests.
So wait a second. Are you saying therefore that we can't ask this motion, we can't because it's a county Department of Mental Health. We can't ask CD 11 to direct the Department of Mental Health to provide.
I'm saying
just the city controller part.
City controller part.
Okay. Because actually the Department of Mental Health is a county.
I understand that.
Okay.
Okay.
But I mean,
we were talking about accountability in terms of them responding to a city services from CD 11.
Okay. And Judy.
So, the whole point in doing these motions was not to be totally precise to the letter of every single law. In my experience, if we were given the recommendation by somebody inside the county to make noise and to ask questions and to let our voices be heard, I think we should start somewhere. And I think nitpicking this away and spending hours on this is kind of missing the point of all of it. The point is to say to the county, we want you to know that we're here, that we're watching you, and the same thing to St. Joe's, that we are really exercising our right to speak out. So let's do the best we can with these motions. They don't have to be perfect, as long as the spirit is to say, we want more transparency. We want to know what's happening here with all the money, and we want to know why people on the street aren't getting what they need.
Okay. Does Sarah have her hand up, or can we take this to a vote? Did Sarah? I don't know if she made a comment.
I don't have anything to say. I'm ready to vote if we're ready.
Okay. So no more hands are up, Lisa. We can vote. Okay. So I'm going to read it with just adding the Venice Neighborhood Council requests CD 11 to direct the Department of Mental Health to provide regular public reporting on measurable outcomes for high acuity clients in Venice, including time from referral to psychiatric evaluation, time to initiation of medication when prescribed, frequency and consistency of case manager and clinical contacts, rates of treatment engagement at 30, 90, and 180 days, medication adherence rates where applicable, coordination with housing providers to support clinical stabilization, and lastly, the number of clients who refuse services. Is that the right wording, Judy? Refuse services? Yeah. Require that continued funding be tied to demonstrated improvement in these outcomes. Okay, so we'll go to a vote. Lisa.
No.
Naomi.
Yes.
Judy.
Yes.
Sarah. She's muted, Lisa.
Yes.
Julie.
Yes.
Okay, so that's and I'm a yes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yeses to 1. Okay. And the motion passes, and I'll write it up. Okay. Thank you all so much. I'm sorry if the meeting seemed messy, Mr. Antonicella. We do what we can. We're here because we care, and I really appreciated all the comments from the public. This is, a daunting thing we've got ahead of us. It's daunting, and everything that we do is something. And I appreciate all of your efforts tonight, and I appreciate the people that showed up and got on Zoom, even though it was hard. And so I will just say good night and thank you, and I will post the motion tomorrow. And does anyone have anything they'd like to say before we close?
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Sweet
Good
dreams.
night.
Night.
Thanks
Good
for
night,
coming.
everyone.
Thank
Night, night.
you.